Hi everyone, welcome back to the JAXLeft Politics and History channel. I'm George Farrar. It's Sunday, January 28th, 2018, and it's now time on the JAXLeft channel to focus in on Jacksonville politics and all the different things that are going on in Jacksonville and Duval County. Let's start with City Council President Anna Broche, who is, I don't know if it's Broche or Broche, but I will say this. At this point in her city council presidency, who cares? Okay, she's back down on two big issues. And as former great president Harry Truman once said, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. And I think she's jumped into the kitchen. She hasn't been able to handle the heat, and she's just going to have to just stay out of the kitchen. She jumped out of the Confederate statue issue, and she jumped out of the targeting of certain folks for jaywalking tickets. Okay, so she couldn't even handle that to stand up for some change, to look into what's going on in the city of Jacksonville. And there's a picture from 1910 of Hemming Park and the Confederate statue, which is quickly gaining some animosity. Okay, it has over the years. People are now beginning to challenge the fact that we have this statue dedicated to a Jacksonville Light Infantry Confederate soldier. Okay, it was put there it was made possible by a man named Charles Hemming. The park is named after him. It was park, then it became a plaza. Now it's kind of reverting more back to trying to be a park through some different things City Hall has been trying to do. From time to time, of course, people gather in Hemming Park, in Hemming Plaza, however you want to call it. And since the late 19th century, going into the 20th century, this Confederate statue, this monument, has been sitting in the park throughout, and plaza throughout the different iterations. Of course, meanwhile, we had the great President John F. Kennedy, okay? He was assassinated in 1963. Well, in 1960, when he was running for president, he came to Jacksonville, spoke in the park, okay? Spoke in the park. And there he is off the corner there. You got a nice little plaque there, but it's off the corner. I don't know if you can make out any of the lettering. The head looks kind of prominent. That's good. And also, former Congressman, long-time Congressman Charlie Bennett, okay? There's a real man for Jacksonville, and there's a real man for our country, John F. Kennedy. But he's off to the corner. I'll tell you one thing. My day job, I get the feeling sometimes I'm like off to the corner, and it seems like there's a lot of hubbub about old ways and old things in the park. But if you notice, if you look back, there's been so much change in the park. So there's all of this going on, and I think we need to kind of keep in mind, it's our park. It's the people's park, okay? What once was the Cohen's department store is now our city hall, okay? So things have changed over the years. They ripped out the palm trees. They ripped out the bandstand. They ripped out the nice little shed and the nice little area where you could kind of, go take care of things. When you're downtown, you ride around. You might want to sit down. You might want to use the facilities, okay? There were facilities there, okay, long ago. Things change. Speaking of things changing, the Jacksonville Electric Authority. I held my tongue during the holiday season. I wanted to kind of be nice over Thanksgiving, but I had a couple power outages at my house, a period of 4 hours over Thanksgiving weekend, okay? 2 periods, 2 or 3 hours each. I'm being very generous, by the way, in saying it's 4 hours. Maybe it was something like 5 or 6 hours, okay? It was all said and done, okay? Thanksgiving weekend, 2017. They did power surges earlier that tore up my computer. And if you do look at from the fall into this year, and you notice things look a little funky, a little bit weird on the broadcast in this channel, and the George Farrar channel, and everything I've been trying to do, well, now you have your answer, okay? Now, I don't hold grudges. I let that go. I didn't raise a lot of heck online about it. However, they are kind of going. They're going again to push for increases in your power bill so they can put in more underground lines. Now, I have underground lines where I live in my neighborhood, but there are, of course, areas in Jacksonville that don't. Hurricane Irma came through, and we had Hurricane Matthew came through the prior to that, and so all of that over a period of years has caused people to go like, let's improve our infrastructure. They take in a lot of money. JEA takes in a lot of money. There's all of this talk about that, possibly doubling people's bills. This, you can take a look at the WJXT website. They ran a story about it. Uh, you know, there's all this talk then of also privatization. Now, think about the JEA as this. It's City of Jacksonville's goose that lays the golden egg. Drive down any major road in Jacksonville, look around, and you'll notice the lights are on. If you go into a business or to a facility, you have to use the bathroom, the water will flow. If you need to use a water fountain, water flows. Electric and water, people pay for that. Look around at every house, building you see, all that money flows into the JEA, and they want to privatize it. Where does the goose that lays the golden egg go when we need money? Be often private companies' coffers. So that's a problem. They've sold off some land. They're in the process of going through some complex transactions. And going through an issue, and here again comes City Council President Anna Broche. She wanted to set up a special committee to handle this possible transaction that will involve development at the Old South Side generating plant out on the south bank of on the Riverwalk off the St. Johns River, not far, the Main Street Bridge, from what I call the old Golf Life building, River Place Tower, all these different things, a marina. They want to, residential, certainly I think there would be some sort of food type component at a certain point. All these different things, and then of course you have the TV station WJXT, TV4 tucked in behind, and you have the school board building. Okay, so if you think about those as points of reference, the TV tower, I-95. So this is something big. Well, they finally worked it out. There isn't going to be a special commission. It'll go through regular order in the council, as far as I understand it. There are people that are watching this. There are people that are watching Jacksonville Perspectives, watching different places to get information about what's going on in what's going on downtown. So if you are, and elsewhere, all over the city of Jacksonville. So definitely check out Jacksonville Perspectives on Facebook for the latest in information about what's happening, because I'm closely following it. I'm closely following redevelopment downtown. As you see, we have the old Florida National Bank building, the marble, we kind of generally have called it the old Marble Bank. It's going to be headed for redevelopment to be a restaurant. Behind it, the Bisbee building on the right, and the old Florida Life insurance building behind it, directly behind it. Those would become a Marriott hotel. So that is going to start to happen. And towards the left, we'll talk a little bit about the Barnett. The old Barnett Bank building, one of the tallest skyscraper in Jacksonville, from the time it was built in the 1920s until the early 1950s, when the Prudential building, now known as the Aetna building, was built over on the South Bank towards the Acosta Bridge. So we're starting to see the construction happening on the Barnett Bank building, the old Barnett Bank building, and so that's gonna become apartments. It's gonna become residential. So that's a really big thing, because if you notice where it is, it's right there on Laura Street, not far from Hemming Park, not far from Public Library, City Hall. This is an interior shot from the Florida Times Union of the Barnett. I've been inside when this area was opened at one point for One Spark, the One Spark Festival, a couple years back. And so I had the opportunity to go in and kind of look and see some of this. So they've got a lot to work on. It's an old building that had been neglected rather substantially. But, there's a bright future. So this is projected, artist image of what it would look like. But if you think about all these people living downtown, will create hopefully demand, and hopefully will bring some life to some very, very dead spots in the center of the city of Jacksonville. So my eyes are all over the place, and I'll be following everything. Also, we have the old Jacksonville Terminal, the old rail station from 1919 to 1974. In 1974, rail operations for passenger rail moved out to Clifford Lane, out to that little small, little country style, really out, kind of like Amtrak, small little Amtrak rail station. So the grandeur, for railroading in Jacksonville was in Jacksonville's past. But the thought is at some point, it's now the Prime Osborne Convention Center. A new convention center will be constructed elsewhere. And then that leaves this building open. And maybe, quite possibly maybe, can we bring Amtrak passenger service back to downtown near what will soon become, another year or two, the Jacksonville Regional Transportation Center, which will have the Greyhound bus lines. We'll have a Greyhound bus line station, and we'll have various transportation services to connect up with the city bus system and with whatever the Skyway will become. And they're saying that there's proposals generally a proposal, to move the convention center, to tear down the old city hall, which you're looking at the old Jacksonville City Hall, our city hall from 1960 until 1997, and later on served as an annex for various city and state officials. You see here that this building that I will take it then that will be demolished to make this proposed new convention center possible. Okay, so and you see the inscription 1564, and I'll leave it for you to go back through and take a look at History Jacksonville on this channel to find out the significance of 1564. Nice map inscription on it on this building, and beautiful trees in the area. Back when they really had a vision of a civic center on the river, and with the trees. So when they go through, and the apathy level in the city is incredibly high. I mean, seriously, I don't know what really gets things going in this city anymore. I don't. So they'll probably go through, knock down the building, knock down the trees, and knock down the Duval County Courthouse right behind this. Nice picture of me back on September 23rd, 2017, filming season 6 premiere episode of History Jacksonville, where I profiled the old Duval County Courthouse and the old Jacksonville City Hall, and I looked at from different angles, looked at from across the river, and then right there where they are. So there's this talk, but then where's the money? Where's the initiative? Where's the leadership going to come from? And will it become a white elephant? Meaning, do we really need convention business? Is it the future? And then meanwhile, somewhere amidst all of this, there's talk of tearing down some of these overpasses. The old Hart Bridge Expressway, the Hart Bridge Expressway, those ramps, the elevated expressway that people have been using since 1967 to get into the city from across the St. Johns River, from the beaches, from that area, from that Atlantic Boulevard area, South Side. They're talking now of taking those down and having nice kind of pedestrian and roadway at ground level facilities, which could be an improvement. And because you can see certainly that these are not exactly aesthetically where the city really could be going. The city could go into a real nicer direction. Speaking though of directions, there is a bad direction, and unfortunately I have to drive that bad direction, usually 5 days a week, down Interstate 295, back and forth, to and from work, and I've not been pleased, I've not been a happy camper with the I-295 Mandarin Express Lanes toll project, okay? It's been going on for a very, very, very long time. They've been started off with building walls, they have an affinity for just taking their sweet time, and they'll make some progress, but then they don't go anywhere for a while on construction. They spend a lot of time building walls, putting in signs, overhanging signs. They put in the toll gantries, but I just hope we're not having some problem getting asphalt supplied because, well, they've gotten some asphalt built, and they have done certainly the widening that needs to be done. They're going at a snail's pace. And speaking of a snail's pace, welcome to my world. This is a view from my car of the junction of I-295 and I-95, looking towards I-295 northbound, trying to head home. This was a particularly bad night for traffic in Jacksonville. The construction zone, all of that, it needs to be finished. It needs to be done. It needs to be done properly. I am at a loss at this point. This stuff is done by the state of Florida, but we see no push from the local officials. And I hate to say this, and I don't think I've really said this that much on this channel, but if I were mayor, okay, if I were on the city council, if I was anything for that matter in city government, I would be on those state officials. I would be on them morning, noon, and night, because this has a dramatic impact on people, citizens, and for some of you politicians out there who might somehow, maybe you drop by and you're listening, voters, okay, these people vote, and these people, including myself, sometimes don't see the difference between the state and the city. I live in the city of Jacksonville, and this is unacceptable. It's dangerous, lots of pollution, lots of danger, lots of time lost, bad for the environment, bad for old people, young people, drivers, people stuck in these cars, So I'm hoping for a brighter day. I'm hoping for the privilege to drive and pay tolls, okay? People have really dropped the ball over the years in this city, and I don't know if anyone's really picking it up. Missouri is thinking, looks like he's running for city council vice president. He's got an early campaign to do it. I know. I've got my eye on Tommy Missouri, former mayor of Jacksonville, current city council person. But I look at things like 295, and there you have incompetence. And the incompetence is actually spreading, by the way, further down the interstate. And boy, when those people out there towards Ponte Vedra and those people out towards the town center, when those people start to get inconvenienced dramatically, oh boy, the hooting and the hollering you'll hear. I hope that there'll be some hooting and hollering. I don't know, but I think they're all running away with the money, okay? I look at that construction project, and I just keep your eyes on the money. Follow the money is the best thing I could tell you. Speaking of following the money and the smash and grab that is the Trump presidency, I know it's been kind of quiet here on the channel. I'm not just sitting at some desk, pretending to talk on the landline phone, okay? I've had a lot of different things going on in my life. I'm trying to kind of pull everything together. The Trump administration has been very demoralizing for people like me who work hard, pay our taxes, sit in these stupid traffic jams, follow some of the bad ideas, the cornucopia of bad karma. Just it's a mess. And so if you see sometimes that things slow down, if you see sometimes that maybe I'm a little cranky in my own right, well, the president is the leader. The president sets the tone for the country. Right now there are some deep problems. So I am excited about the future. Over on the George Farrar channel, I do have another channel. We do look at national issues and different things that are going on. Trumpism is all over the place. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I'm going to jump in my Scion in February. I'll be taking a look at our Main Street Bridge. Part of this has been trying to kind of find the right moment to do the filming of the Main Street Bridge and really get things going on the channel again for 2018. I've got a lot planned for you, okay? The road ahead, in the coming years may be challenging for me from here to there, but throughout since 2013 on this channel and since 2011 over on the George Farrar channel, I've been bringing you the best that I can, and I'll be continuing to do so. The best in Jacksonville politics and history. You're going to start hearing more politics. You're going to start seeing more politics, and as we jump into, we start to emerge into spring, into the summer, the fall, and then hey, before we know it, 18 will be over. I want to thank you for watching. Take it easy. See you later.